This is 6, 4, and 2. I didn't have it.
Okay, so anyway, you know that. But, yeah, that's me. This is just something I've been working on a little lately. You probably see it's not so fully baked. It's actually for a project that's kind of on a slower track than we hoped. So it's kind of a work in progress. But maybe I just kind of introduce the topic a little bit.
Can you hear me okay if I'm clear over here? So talking about your content.
This is going to be Django-centric, but I don't think it's exclusive to Django. I think some principles and problems and solutions are fairly generic, so hopefully you'll find some value from the Django first. And as far as sort of the difficulty level, I'm kind of putting this sort of between beginning and intermediate. So this isn't going to be super complex stuff. So it should be fairly accessible if you're new to this kind of thing at all. If you're super experienced with this, you might get a little more. But talking about content in an application, especially a web application, one of the more intuitive models is when you have a catalog of products. So now people basically find that person navigate browse through this. And so if you think about it, the obvious way to say, well, I've got categories, right? I've got categories and all my products into a category. So if you've got books, then you have categories of fiction and nonfiction, and I don't even know what, right? So you got categories. But that's really quite limited. So, it's not too long before you say, well, this book fits in 2 categories. Or I need to have maybe a hierarchy of categories. Right? So now your data is a little more complicated, and then you get along and you say, well, so now we've built this really great hierarchy of categories, let's say, and we need things to belong to more than one, and now you come along and say, well, this category, this hierarchy of categories is really nice for books, but turns out now we're going to start selling tables. And so now do we have one category, one hierarchy of categories, and we're sort of categorizing books and tables in the same thing, or do we have do we replicate all that for tables now, or what? So if we just look at an example, and Clint, I don't know if Google Hangouts is getting, is it getting this screen? Yeah, I don't think it's getting that screen. Well, I did. Hang on, let me just try this again. Oh, so there's multiple desktops. Okay. There we go. Yeah. I think I did now. I'm seeing now the little preview with the right stuff. Okay, so like Amazon, right? So Amazon has a huge library of content products. Right? I mean, they've got music, and they've got washing machines, and they've got toys, and they've got books and music and everything. So clearly, you don't want to see over here in the side every single category that on top. That is real well. And so it's a good use case to kind of validate some of the stuff that we category that we're talking about against. I've lost my cursor. There it is. So looking at the Amazon thing, we're looking at washing machines here. And it's really nice what they've done here on the side, because it knows that we're in the washing machines, right? And so it knows that there's brands of washing machines, there's loading types, there's fuel types, apparently there's toy age ranges. And there's resellers. I thought there was resellers. There was at one point. So how do they do that, right? So how do they know that when I'm in washing machines, this is what I've got? And you notice, furthermore,
what's kind of nice is that when I choose a brand, first of all, I can choose multiple brands, so I'm doing an OR between brands, right? I can do Panda or, I can't even read that, whatever else that is. But, I also want to say, well, you notice my other choice went away. So this used to say front load and top load. Well, now it just says top load. Why is that? Because there's no front loaders that match my current criteria, right? So it's populating these choices based on the, let's see, 64 results that we currently have.
No, it's not checked. What do you do?
Sorry?
If it's not checked, then what do you do? Well, that's okay.
Right.
So it's little Amazon flaws.
So, all right. So this is kind of nice, right? It's kind of a nice model. Obviously, Amazon's got a lot more money than most of us do, and they've thought that this is good. And frankly, I kind of agree. So let me back up just a little bit. Let's see. Well, I think it's showing up on my little preview. So don't blame me. All right. So okay. So we kind of looked at Amazon. By the way, so I'd like to do this kind of discussion right here because, like I said, it's kind of work in progress. So as you have questions, just don't say them. Just fire it out. So looking at Amazon, that's we got another business coming. Basically, that's the experience that they like. Right? They like to be able to have a rich system of describing their content. It's smart, so you don't get it. And you want to be flexible. So again, coming back to the traditional search, you all categories, right? Category, all categories give us a name, product, or whether it's going to feed the category. And then you make your categories hierarchical. So, I mean, one nice thing in that evolution is anyone here familiar with the MPTT library? No. Do you use Django? So, I think MPTT is a specific library, but what it is it's a basically a transit to Django to its field type, which allows you to have a parent-child relationship. So it's just like having a parent ID on the model. It relates back to itself. So if I've got a category, I've got books as a category, and then I have another category which is nonfiction, and its parent is a book. Right? And that's it. Every item has exactly one parent. It doesn't have a parent, it's a top one. Right? So you don't need anything like MPT for that. But what MPT is really good at is it adds a couple of different hidden fields to your models, which allow you to kind of elaborate in the hierarchy, get siblings, get ancestors, get descendants. And the way it does that, basically, you do that without making a database call. It's very fast. So it allows you to navigate through a hierarchy. So here, now, it's kind of where we've landed. Because once you have categories, which are hierarchical, because we're refining data, and you want to be able to let any item be associated with any number of categories, then your categories will be tags. So we'll just call them tags, because that's what all they are. So what you see here, well, so that's the thing. All right, so there's a pretty cool Django library. Django 1, 2, 3, huge community of apps, which a lot of companies drop in, a lot of them have core functionality, you can integrate with, feeds lists, So there's a really great Django app by one of the developers of Django called Tagging. It's just tags. And these tags, exactly, I say, I don't have it anymore. But it's just tags. There's no hierarchy, there's no relationship, which is fine. So, but then you say, okay, I've got a bajillion tags, and there's no relationship between them. And so if I've got an algorithm, I'm going to tag it with Springsteen, I'm going to tag it with Prosecuting Rock, I'm going to tag it with New Jersey, I'm going to tag it with, I don't even know it all, male singers, right? And there's just all these different tags that put on. That's great. But if you think about, if you want to have richer tag information, what we found is that you're very limited. So we had a client who was in the music industry. So, and this is some stuff. So this is kind of the slides. But under instruments, at the top level, piano keyboard, underneath that, your piano, and the piano solo, and then I created this really specific, which kind of as an exercise later. And also instruments, we've got vocal, guitar, woodwinds, and then we have ensemble. We have nothing to do with instruments. That's kind of the thing. We have different kinds of ensembles. So when you talk about our clients' data and choral arrangements, if we were just flat tags, to get the functionality we want, I would say we just have to pile on many tags. And you kind of have to read your user's minds to know what they're after. Right? Because if they're not after New Jersey, if they're after New York, it's not. They're New Jersey tags users. Right? So what we love about this kind of tagging project is it's dense. It was hard. So we built an extension we just call it TLG tags, which is our tree line. So it's a tree line tag, and so a tag has a name that's really just used in the admin context, so you know what sort of tag it is. And it's got SUD. So if you don't know, SUD is kind of the term, at least in the Django world, for a URL-friendly token. It's usually used for that. We use slugs a lot to make intuitive URLs. Rather than having a URL with a bunch of IDs in it, to identify various things, we try and press the slug to get more visibility and more security value out of that. So the slug is usually how we identify that. Index field can also do that. But that category field we actually aren't using anymore. We originally were going to say we have tags and we have category tags. So we could say, here are our instrument tags, and here are our ensemble tags, and here are our genre tags, and whatever. We've got a better way around it. But you can actually get the parent. So that's that MPTT in action. And it's kind of nice because they display this here so you get a visual sense of where you are in your stuff. So we have all these tags. All right, let me get back to my notes here. All right. Okay, so let me make a more compelling case for tags before I get into some of the actual code stuff. So, why do we want to use tags? If something is well tagged, and we know that you can look at it, or we know that you can. So you look at the frozen sound, right? I would say it's the piano, the easy piano, let it go, from frozen. That's the piece. So if it has tag property, then we can look at those tags, and especially look at other things we can look at. We can look at what tags are commonly occurring across the look at, and then we can suggest it. Right? So that's what. So you're reviewing, purchasing. We can weight purchases. In price and budget, we weight use, and so we can come with a suggestion if our confidence level at that. It's really great because it's sort of really easy to tag across the input block. You can also then look at what you got this, Clint got that. You know, here's what Clint writes. And so we can see this go through. So with tags, you can have all these orthogonal connections all of them. So that's one of the reasons we like tags. And we can use them for navigation. So let me just show you just a little thing. All right, so here's the demo that I want to talk about a little bit. So on the left, you just have tags. But clicking those will apply those tags to our human run. So we only have like 10 columns. And you can see underneath the product, underneath that view product, it's putting out a list of tags that are on the button. So I'm going to go on and tag a couple of things real quick. And it's really easy. We're making heavy use of existing libraries. So if I come to, keep losing my cursor. All right, so here's our products. Let's go to, it says celebration. All right, so down here now you can see the products that we're going to have. So this is using a web GUI called Select 2, kind of a more visual upgrade, a mini relationship. So here you can see what you've already got. So I'm going to tag this with, you notice I get a nice autocomplete here of all my tags. So I'm going to say, okay, I want to add that tag, this really specific piano solo instrument. So that's now actually, I think we made this so that I can add a new tag too from here. Did that add some new tag? It probably didn't because it doesn't know where it should go in the hierarchy if we do that. I think that's why we disabled that. So adding tags now obviously when you're talking about a library as big as Amazon, no one's going to sit there and do that adding tags in this process, right? You want to have criteria that you find huge swaths of content, apply tag, and all this. But that's really easy to do. It's just because each of these is just a join reference, right? It has a tag ID, and then you think we have a product. So I guess that's why we're turning into. What we're doing here is generic foreign key. So if you're not familiar with that, we want to be able to tag in. We don't want to just tag in and tag our products with these tags. With this client wants to be able to have features and on those and many instruments and all kinds of things that might be very configured states. So a generic tag really is just two fields. One field is essentially what type of entity, whether it's product, feature, or whatever. And then the other field is your form, your primary key for that. So I'm not going to show it here because the little data only has one product, one previous taggable. But at the end of the day, each of these has to show up here is just a join record, a database table. It has a tag ID, and in this case, the ID is product, and the field says file. So it's really easy to create those through a scripting interface if you want to. So having done that, so now if we come here to celebration, I'm going to refresh this, and there's our new tag. So where this becomes then really cool from my perspective, what I really like about this, again, think about the Amazon scenario. In Amazon, you want to be able to say, I want any of these three brands. So that's an or relationship, right? I want Maytag, or GP, or World. And then you can then here where it says remote type, it's front load or top load, you say, well, I want front load. But you're not saying I want Maytag, GP, or World, or front load. Right? You're saying I want Maytag, GP, World, for the brand, and I want top load. So if you use vertical columns, it's saying, okay, here's our brand, I want any, I would say, or relationship within them. But it's an and relationship between them. Does that make sense? So that's one thing that I really like about what we've got here. Our top level tags, these very good, so interest, ensemble, genres. We know what those are. It's very easy to get the top of those because those are going to be fields. We basically say get level 0. Boom, we get a list of all our problems. So now I can do what we're doing on Amazon. I can say, all right, I want piano. And now you're going to see the selected tags that are being applied appear down here. The selected categories, that's the different types of things are showing up here. I didn't have time to make them nice in relation to so. So if I want piano, and then I want from a genre perspective, do you see folk anywhere? Oh, there we go. All right. Folk. So, and maybe that was a bad example. I'm going to remove folk. And let's go with something. Sorry? Here? Okay. So now I have one or more tag from instruments, which is piano, and I have one or more tag from ensembles. Now, if I add another tag to instruments, let's say we do guitar and we do vocal and we do whatever, it's not changing my criteria because I don't have enough products, but it's doing an or across all of those. So it's saying, hey, instrument could be any of piano, guitar, vocal, harmonium, percussion. But, across all those instruments, I want my ensemble to be piano trio. So, if I take that out, now I'm back to all these things. Probably just about everything fits in one of those criteria. So again, by simply looking at which ancestors are represented, which top of ancestors, and doing very easy queries within each ancestor, the ors, and then doing the and across those ancestors, we get exactly what Amazon did. So, and it would be a very small step forward to say, all right, given my selected products, here's all the tags we all share. From those tags, here's the ancestors. So again, that gives us, so that's our equivalent to loading type, brand, manufacturer, whatever. Those are just those top level tags. So it's very easy to pull them out. And what's nice is that we know, because we're analyzing our results, we're always going to get something. We're never going to get so it becomes pretty straightforward to replicate what Amazon's doing from a user experience perspective. I feel like I'm just going on. Any questions or comments? Yeah.
So their concept of tags, actually implements hierarchy also within tags.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
How did you get this hierarchy?
So let me. I should. Let's talk about that more. So the reason we want to do that, right, is this. If we look at a specific piece, so let me remove all my tags. Okay, so look at, again, Frozen, all right? So it's tagged, it's the only instrument, I think the only instrument it's got is this one, this really specific one, right, which is way down deep. But that is a child of piano solo, which is a child of piano, which is a child of piano and keyboard. So if I'm a consumer and I come to the website and I know I want to go to piano and keyboard, well, as a administrator, I don't want to have to tag Frozen with all 4 of those tags times 80,000 products. Right? And if I forget one and someone tags something that's more general, I'm left out. So what we really like about this approach is that a child tag inherits all of its parents. So if I come here, you'll notice again that Frozen is not tagged with piano, but if I click piano, Frozen shows up because it's tagged with a child of piano. And so, and that's really easy because all we do is we say, okay, tag supplied piano with MPT, we basically get all of piano's descendants tags, and then it's a very easy thing to query to say, get all the products with any of these tags. And so we felt like having a hierarchy was so much better than just a flat. flat tags. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
I don't know where you were going.
Yeah, so you create, or so they call it create new tags, you actually specify that.
Yeah.
It's just an optional additional piece of information.
Right. And so, and for example, this client, you know, we're not limited in what tags we create. So, for example, these guys want to do something like, you know, hey, it's Father's Day on Sunday. Let's create a Father's Day tag. Let's tag these 300 things with that Father's Day tag. Because we can easily create a web email that says, this maps back to the Father's Day tag, here's all your results. And so they can very quickly create arbitrary collections of content to throw it out there. In fact, we're actually going to, in the next sentence, to build a start time income for the tag. So that it would be a query, we only query tags that are currently alive. So that way you can say, all right, and after Father's Day, boom, that's gone. So the tag becomes invalid, the process is good. And so that is, it would probably be a top level tag. You know, no parent, because you wouldn't really need it to do that. But if you came along and someone said, you know what, I have something that's under string quartet. You know, maybe it's string quartet with 4 violas instead of the traditional string. Right? So you can just kind of splice that in, and it would only influence what you actually kind of get back. And all you're doing is making that, those items with that identifier more specific. They're automatically going to get, just as if they were string quartets, but everything that you go to drop. So you don't have to go back and sort of reform it.
So I want to look at a little bit of code here and a little bit of what we're doing. It's really pretty simple. Let's see. So actually, let's do some stuff on the too. Let's see, that's in Python, right? Okay, so this should do it. So if I make that bigger, does that help anybody? Let me. Wait. I know, it's really hard to see it. Ah, that's not what I wanted. Sorry. Well, we can mostly see it here. All right, so if I say P equals product, that frozen piece of sheet music, right? So, so I can just say p.tags.all, and it gives me all the tags that are attached to that. And this is the stuff we're getting from the tag. Yeah, but absolutely what it is, because you can see we have an instrument tag, the instrument hierarchy, and then we have, you know, the pet band and the Disney shooting as a genre. So it is true, all of our tags are in a single universe, right? And we kind of, the ones from the very top are special. At least in one of our groups. I can't think of a compelling case to have another universe of tags. So maybe from a math perspective, not going to completely umbrella level. But you can see all the tags here. But I can do more than that. I can say, oh, that's just this. Thought I killed the whole thing. So I can say, similar objects. So it's automatically analyzing my tags, finding things that have overlap. And there we go. So again, just looking for objects. And I think right now it's looking for any website. If anything else has any of these tags, it's currently coming up with similar objects.
clearly, we could put a threshold in there too. You want to have 2 shared tags, 3 shared tags, 10 shared tags. So
and these queries are really easy, and it comes pretty much out of the box with a lot of this stuff. Now, what's not happening is the benefit of the hierarchy. So we haven't yet added that to these what are called manager calls. So ideally, similar objects would again crawl up that hierarchy. Do not just look for action tag with the same exact tag. So we need to kind of modify the community tag library to factor in those. But let me show you these siblings things, because that's really simple. I can just say, let's see, oops. Okay. Now let's see here. Yeah. So that's how I get my top level items, is I just say level is 0. And if I want to say, okay, for instruments, if I say I equals, oops. Oh, is a dash. Thanks. So I now is that instrument tag. Well, I can now say I dot the descendants. That's all my descendants now. So these are very fast calls because of how MPPT does things. And so all we're doing on that front-end view, if you pass that view of instruments, it simply calls this. That's the entire equation, all of it. And it just says, delete all products, use tags, do like one more tag. And I'll show you what that code looks like. So, let's see. All right. So to get something that has a particular tag, we just say, objects are a class, and we're going to do the filter. And objects are filtered tags, which is my slug, and has its tag. So that's going to give us any products that we have in class. Okay, this is not happening in 100. Show you what I'm saying. So you see how the tags are going to show that, that's all. We look at similar objects. So I guess I'd like to deconstruct this view then, is the next thing. Not going to work. Where's my cursor? All right. So these 30 lines of code are what's doing that. So you can see right there. So I showed you the get descendants. We can also call them ancestors. So that's how we say any given child tag automatically gets all its ancestors. So when a tag's like, when you supply really specific piano solo recipe, it says the ancestors. It says, okay, well that's piano solo, piano keyboard, piano instrument. So that comes through on that be my ancestors, and you just build a list of the ancestors. And then right here, from those ancestors, we're now going back down to the descendants. Let's see here. I want to show you the fun things. When we're going either up or down in the hierarchy, you can tell it whether or not to include yourself, the reference tag or reference node. Okay, and here's the actual filtering. Let's see, is that the only time we do the filter? Yeah. So this is as simple as it gets once we've determined which tags apply. We just say products.filter tags in my list. So if I wanted to do that interactively, and if I'm just gonna pick one of these guys, or look at two of these guys. So we'll say A equals okay. So now I've just got an arbitrary collection of tags. Tag objects in Django, it's really easy to just say, ooh, well, maybe it's not easy. I can't see the bottom of it, my screen's too big. I guess so. I wonder why it's working on the front end. I did build this on a different computer. All right, well, it works over here. So, all right, so I want to recap a little bit on a couple things. So, what we like about this approach is we break out of a traditional sort of category. We can use this in navigation. You know, we can cherry pick which toggle tags we want for navigation, and then it's very easy to build with a cascading UL of tags from a navigation perspective. We like it because we can tag any kind of code. It's loosely bound, and so we can tag products, we can tag products with the type, we can tag users, we can tag anything. We like the hierarchy because it gives us the benefit of everything upstream, so we can pass in with a smaller number of very specific tags and get the benefit of the entire hierarchy of restricted tags. And we really like it because we can look at collections of things for purchase, or bought, or whatever, find similar items, and we've got a pretty easy recommendation. And it's really pretty simple to implement. If you're not doing Django, not doing web apps, you can probably still implement like this, manage your data. It just seems like these days, data gets a lot more useful. So being able to just tag it, describe it, and then treat it is a lot more useful than having a traditional. Any questions, comments, observations, recommendations? That's it. That's kind of my stuff. Yeah. Well, this is just my stuff. But there's nothing, it's really good to take off. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, $100 grand right now.
What's the $100 grand like to get me? What's the NPTT? What does that all actually look like?
Well, so it's a field that I'll show you. Let's look at some code here. So here's our models. So on our class, so Jane, come through the table, we active record patterns. So these classes represent data tables. Right? So we have a TLG tag with the name of the class, and we're extending to different volume. We're also extending the tags. That's how we extend the different tagging. And then you can see, so an MPTT model has to have a parent. You can see it with 3-4 MPTT. When you do that, so when you extend that MPTT model, it also has, let me say, kind of a left and a right integer field. And the way you add registers or change something in the hierarchy, it actually goes through a routine, so grid sequencing of numbers. So that again, when you do a grid sequencing, because normally you did it by yourself. You just have a table of, categories, each category has a pair. You only got a sense, you got a recurrence. Like you got a function,
then transparent, and then you're doing like 20 queries to get, because you don't know what it is, and you're not. The way you implement it, it's single query. Because it doesn't like the right numbers the way that this is this. I don't know. But it's what also makes it very fast with all the descendants, all the ancestors, all the siblings. So you see these models are 2%. Oh yeah, so you can see I'm talking about the strike of the image. So this is the class that holds the intersection of an item and a tag. Tag item class. And you notice we don't have a field for we have a tag, we don't have a file. That's because this is a generic form relationship between implied, and this is creates a content object, which is a type, pointing to other defined classes. But so we have a tag and we start with an indicator. We're not using it currently, but when we tag something, we expect those to screen out these.
At any time, if you wanted, you could edit the tag and change it. So if you wanted to rearrange that hierarchy on the fly, so as new products entered and you start to see change in the structure, what's that?
I would bring everything with it.
That's again one of the benefits.
Yeah.
We have a problem with, we're dealing with something like this, but customers provide just flat tags. But they don't give us hierarchy, so we bring it in as flat tags.
Yeah.
But now looking at this, and I'm thinking that it could start to enforce a hierarchy. Even if we did that manually, on the fly, manually later, we could start to build the hierarchy, and even though they're feeding those in the product feeds, we built it and add that right into our hierarchy.
Right. So you can have a flat, something that's very messy. And once you have that long-term relationship, it's very easy.
We're doing exactly that. You do a hierarchical category and you do tags. But if you don't do hierarchical tags, I like that. It's like,
Yeah, we're really excited about some of the cool things we can do.
There's a lot of programs that we use, and we're like asking about some questions, different things.
Yeah.
So you can research the question comes
Exactly.
filter by.
Yeah.
So this is less a software question. How did you vet your list of tags to look for how to do these? I noticed, for example, if you go back to your list of tags, there's a strings tag and a guitar tag at the same level. Some users that would be, well, it's different between strings and guitar. Right? So did you develop the hierarchy yourself? Did you vet with your client?
So that's
These sort of hierarchical questions.
That's a great question.
It's about how things should be built.
well. So for example, when we to answer the question briefly, we actually did we ripped off this hierarchy from the website,
Sure.
and the project, the task still is open for our client, who has had like 100,000 pages, to come up with that. And that's because as we were kind of playing out, so we're like, all right, I just want to add, classical, and then like, well, hey, 19th century classical, 50th century classical. That's probably bad. Right? I probably should have had a period top level, which is 50th century, 19th century, whatever. Because it might, what you don't want to do is make it confusing, so once in a while, this, and they can cook them. Nothing in the world to say 18th classical and Beethoven. Even though it kind of like the same thing.
To your point, hierarchy is something you did.
Right, so if you put it to other one.
Classical, something on classical.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. But you're absolutely need to be careful. Make sure that you're, now, I think it's less important to within the top level. Your point was on the string.
So yeah, strings and guitar, someone say, oh, it's not a guitar string.
Exactly.
So
Well,
so
in this
it's
case, the competitor, probably because it was so many people hard and to pull that to the top more business. Sure. You're absolutely right that from a strict business hierarchy, you probably have a strict business. Well, so when we explored that, we were like, okay, again, you know, what if now we say rock and classical might happen in the 1970s. Classical and rock, now I've got two guys from the 1970s, and because we didn't like that slug, and if that slug is from the 1970s, it's ambiguous, right? So absolutely, you know, this is going to be one of the things you definitely can't sit down and come up with a hierarchy of this case, and have logical top levels. Ideally, you could have two guys in that same label, but you wouldn't have slides, because we're identifying which tag to find the slug, which tag to the URL, so data. And that's something I kind of like about the approach we've got here again, is that, I've got 4 minutes of battery power, is this view doesn't care that this, so we just pass tags. I don't have to say on ensemble I'm going to pass string quartet, and in genre I'm passing folk. You notice in the URL it's just tags. And then we inspect those tags, infer from them the ancestors, and then work through them. Do our OR relationships. So that's very good. And it's
So the takeaway might be, you've got a wonderful way to organize everything to invest a lot of time. Such a way
and it probably makes sense, frankly, to not go more than a couple of weeks until you're far off. And you've got a lot of material. You know, people are getting that.
You might say this argument, how would you achieve that?
Right. Well, that's the question. And frankly, actually, this is my neighbor who their job is having they work in some video, videos and make I think what we're going to do here, our client does have hierarchy, they do have classifications. We're going to give them some really good tools to find product through integration criteria. And that's what you're going to be like other tags. Also, date sensitive and when was added. But you're right, and that's the question. That's how things, any given item, the more tags you give, the smarter your system can be. So you want to have all that. I don't think that's how somebody just tags that. So, but the problem, we haven't been given the use cases yet of saying, all right, how are you going to know? And really, they don't have it in that category, and we're just going to guess it. So it's kind of like that gentleman was saying, our platform has a flat, essentially a flat hierarchy, flat list of tags that we will impose a hierarchy on. So it shouldn't be too hard. But that's another kind of business question that doesn't get solved without having that basis. So I'm going to turn the computer off. I don't want to die here. Didn't bring power.
Let's just think at this point.
Okay. Yep. Thank you. I appreciate your questions and insights.